Egg pop specs. Good luck, my lovely. And your first one, you have got 4 pearls in here. So you've got a dark chocolate, a two-tonal apple green, a brighter pink, and a blurple. So chocolate, apple green, pink and blurple to start with. Oyster number 2. And you've got 2 pearls in that one. So we've got a chocolate and a pink. Now I'm just going to move all of these over just so we're going to make some room for your oyster pearls, and then I will of course go through all of the colours again for you at the end, Bex. So 6 pearls to start with, and we're going to jump straight into, nope, I haven't got the bag ready for those, so I'm just going to leave those next to me for a minute. We're going to jump straight into the mystery oysters. So mystery oyster number 1. Light double pop there. And in here we can see that there's no pearls on that side. If we have a squidge in here, you have got a coral from your first oyster. So it is a colour that you haven't got yet, so it's a new colour to the table. And here is your coral. Moving on to oyster number 2. Sorry, it's just too tight on my thumb and finger. There we go. Oyster number 2, which again is your mystery oyster. You've got a lighter pop there. And in here, there's your mother of pearl. We have a squidge in here. You've got another coral. And there's no more in that one. Have I had fireworks? We had more fireworks going off yesterday. We have had a few go off today. So we've got a second coral. Moving on to your next mystery oyster. Lighter pop there. And in here there's a little bit of a pearl blister on the inside there, but we can definitely see that there's no pearls. I can see, however, you've got a few peepers in here. 1, 2 and 3. Let me just have a squidge. There's no more in that one. So you have got triples. 3 pearls in that oyster. So again, let me run them through the board. A two-tonal, sorry, just cleaning him up, there we go. Two-tonal blurple, so again, lighter and darker blurple areas, sorry. Again, blurple is a mix between blue and purple, so in some lights you're going to see more blue, some lights you're going to see more purple. You've got a two-tonal lemon yellow, again lighter and brighter areas there. And then you've got a two-tonal apple green. Look at him, again lighter and brighter areas, really, really lovely colouring on that one. Moving on to the last of the mystery oysters. Soft pop there. There's your mother of pearl. Oh, and we've got a dark one that's popped out the front. There's no more in that one, so if I double check this colour here as well for you. He looks like a very dark, deep black cherry. So very, very dark, but we can see that kind of black cherry sort of vibe and overtone to him. Moving on to your surprise oysters. Surprise oyster number 1. There's one side. And the other side. And in here you've got a coral. Now he is a slightly lighter coral than the first 2 that came out, Bex. And then your last oyster, so again, the surprise oyster. And you have got a honey gold. Now honey gold is one of it's like a newer shade that it keeps appearing, and it's like a gold, but it does have that sort of honey tone to him. So our normal golds are like a slightly different shade to this one. This one's more of a softer, lighter gold. So let me show you this one. So there's your honey gold at the bottom there. So if we go through them all, on this side you've got chocolate, apple green, pink and a blurple, chocolate, pink and then a black cherry. We've got 2 corals, a blurple, 2-tonal yellow and a 2-tonal apple green, a honey gold and a coral. Now Bex, if you're happy with these colours, they're yours. If you're not happy, we can swap some for you. And then so I'm just making it lighter just so we can see if you can see the colours. There we go. Now what I will say is possibly then Simon could email me with what colour goes where. Unless of course you know, that's not a problem, you can let me know now. But if not, then we can sort the colours out through email, so it's up to you. But of course, if you'd like to, we can swap any of these now. If we run them through the board for you, the single coral is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. Coral number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. 2-tonal apple green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. 2-tonal yellow is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. And the blurple is not a 5, run away, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5 as well. Slightly lighter coral is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Honey gold is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. And the dark black cherry is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. If I go to the egg pop pearls, your blurple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he is an 8. The first pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Apple green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. And the chocolate's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8 as well. Chocolate number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And the pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he is a 7. Okay, Bex, my lovely, what do you think? What would you like to do? I'm just going to hold it sideways like this, just because then you can see all of the colours together. Two corals for purples, of course.